Continuing tonight is the reality TV show, well, I think it's safe to say it's dividing opinion. If you haven't seen it, Virgin Island follows 12 young adults looking to overcome their fear of sex and intimacy with the help of the retreat's experts. Well, the show's sex experts, Danielle and Celeste, who we saw there, join me now. Good to see both of you. Now, you saw there watching, they were all kind of like terribly uncomfortable. And they all have been uncomfortable because, you know, that's unfortunately what they're like. Very brave to come on this show, don't you think?
Very brave.
Really brave.
Amazing.
Very brave,
yeah,
really.
to make that decision. I was surprised at the start of the show that you say that so many young people in particular are virgins these days. They've not had sex. Because to my mind, you know, when you see online and there's so much porn available and all of this, it's like everybody's at it all the time, but they're not.
Yeah, actually, it's the opposite is happening
it's amazing,
because less
isn't it?
people feel that they can go and have sex. There's so many, you know, there's social media that creates those like crazy standards. There's porn that creates very different standards that don't match to reality at all. And there's also consent culture.
Yeah, I think also we've moved much more into consent culture, but we don't know how to make it sexy yet.
Ah,
you know, it's like
okay,
you
so
need to be able to
communicate.
communicate. Yeah,
they're a bit frightened because they don't want to, you know, so they're hesitant to go too far or to make the first move, especially men, you know, because they're not sure how this is going to work. It is very hands-on. Tell me about your, you know, how this works, how you actually take away their embarrassment and fear.
Yeah, I think at the beginning you see they're very, very uncomfortable. But
yes.
as they start to see it more and more, they get more relaxed. As they start to experience it in their bodies, you can see they become much more comfortable. So it just takes time to get used to it because you don't see people in intimacy very often.
No,
right?
you don't, and not with other people watching. That's the thing as well. I'm just wondering, because obviously these are all very vulnerable people, of course they are, and they're experiencing, you know, feelings for the first time. You're allowing them to do that. You're creating an environment where they can feel sexy and, you know, that they want to. How on earth do you stop them, though, from falling either in love with you or in lust with you? How do you set those boundaries?
Yeah, great question, Lorraine. I feel like they came in with really specific goals. They wanted to learn about intimacy and they wanted to learn, you know, they wanted to like progress in that area. And they came in knowing that we are the professionals. And I think it was very clear throughout that we're teaching them in an experiential way through authentic relating with them, because you really need to see real feedback from people in order to feel it in your body. But they knew they're taking it home. They knew they're like learning and then taking it to their lives. It was never like in any way mentioned that something else is going to happen. And it felt very clear to them. I think they got it.
The lines are clear. The boundaries are clear.
Yeah, they knew they were coming for therapy and that's what they wanted. They came because they wanted to get some experience so that they would be confident and comfortable in their lives.
It's a difficult one because you have to, there has to be trust there, doesn't there? I mean, they're being very, very, like I said, very brave, but they are, you know, there's no filters there. It really is quite extraordinary. And the stories, all of them have got their own story, haven't they? And some of them are actually really sad. You know, you feel sorry for them. You really do.
I
think, and then, but wait till you see what happens.
Okay.
And also I feel people think that there's only one way of kind of like working through your feelings. I think what we offer there is an opportunity to kind of explore who you are in ways that they don't get to do in the world, you know, like we don't just talk to them, we actually give them experiences. How does it feel to be in arousal with someone else? How does it feel to share your feelings with someone else? How does it feel like to be in a group of people that supports you? So I think they had like quite an amazing journey.
It's fascinating, isn't it? Because years gone by, you know, people used to save themselves for marriage, you know, all that sort of thing. And there was a sense of shame if you didn't do that, you know? Like when going back, I mean, nobody wants to go back to those days. And it's come a full circle now, and it's kind of like, what I found really sad about it was that they felt embarrassed and ashamed because they hadn't had sex. It was as if somehow they had failed.
Yeah, now there's
there's
a stigma to being a virgin, but I think what we really wanted to bring them in and have them sort of get over the idea that virginity was the end-all be-all and really learn about intimacy, right? Because losing your virginity is just a moment. It doesn't mean like everything suddenly gets better, right? Where you have great sex, but learning how to connect with someone, learning how to look in their eyes, how to touch, how to share your feelings vulnerably, like that lasts a lifetime. That's what creates confidence.
And I mean, most of us, you know, your first experience, you're fumbling around.
Anyway,
you don't really know what you're doing. I mean, you don't get, you know, you don't, unless you're on the show or you go to you don't really get lessons in that when you think about it. And it's one of the most important things.
I know, that's why I'm so excited that so many people are getting to watch the show. They get to see like, oh, no one knows what's happening in other people's lives, right? So they get a little bit of an opportunity to see like, wow, this is how intimacy really looks like. It can look a little awkward or uncomfortable, and that's okay. That's normal. We have this idea it has to look like a straight line, but you know, it's like
you're making it more real rather than what,
Exactly.
unfortunately, what people see in soft porn or any sort of porn, which seems to be everywhere now. That it's actually not like that, kids.
Yeah. or even in rom-coms, it's not like that.
It's not. That's all choreographed. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Thank you both so much. Virgin Island continues tonight, Channel 4, 9 o'clock, and I can't wait to see how they all do. Thank you very much indeed. Hi there. Thanks so much for watching our YouTube channel. We upload new videos every single day. So click here if you're interested in this video or head to the homepage for more amazing content.